comes and goes in the blink of an eye. Soon as I swear you've been left behind, all the colors come back so bright. Wish I could keep you in black and white, sort of like a picture in a drawer. I don't wanna look at anymore, but it's too hard to ignore. I'll never not feel like yours. Holding on to someone new's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve at midnight. Taste your lips like that red wine. Wish I wasn't looking back on you, but I still do. Deja vu. Deja vu. Deja vu. Comes and goes like a holding on to someone new. It's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve at midnight. Taste your lips like that red wine. Wish I wasn't looking back on you, but I still do. I still do. Deja vu. Deja vu. 아